What if I told you some of your biggest tragedies in life are in fact your biggest blessings? How can we be the nicest person we've ever met on some days and the biggest a-hole on others? Well, today's rant is all about the polarity we experience in our inner and outer world and how we can channel this to transform our life. So stick with us and we'll show you how. Polarity is how we're hardwired, literally. The right side of our brain is responsible for controlling the left side of our body, and the left side of the brain is responsible for controlling the right side of our body. The most annoying thing about polarity is the fact that it's responsible for wrecking our emotional life, since what feels good in the moment is always inevitably bad for us. Junk food? Yes. Vegetables? No. Waking up at 5:30 every morning? No. Hitting the snooze button for 45 minutes straight? Yes. Until we miss the bus for the 5th time in a row and get fired from work. That brings us to the million-dollar question. How do we find balance in a world that's full of polarities and extremes? After all, in order to achieve flow, we need to find the perfect spot between chaos and order. In order to produce art, we need to find the perfect spot between being a creative and a neurotic. This brings us to the wise old Aristotle, who taught us the art of balance. For instance, courage lies between cowardice on one side and recklessness on the other. Happiness lies between binge-watching Game of Thrones on one side and a bucket of ice cream on the other. The secret to cracking the paradox of polarity lies in Aristotle's golden mean. When we think about this further, there also seems to be a distinct sense of polarity between our conscious and subconscious mind. More often than not, the emotions that we experience on the surface of our conscious mind are hiding deeper emotions that are the polar opposite in our subconscious mind. So, how do we take these apparent opposites in our inner and outer world and channel the energy to take our life to a whole new level? The key lies in embracing polarity in our perspective of life. What if some of the worst things that have ever happened to us turn out to be our biggest blessings? Does Steve Jobs ring a bell? He's quoted as saying that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to him. Walt Disney ring a bell? He got fired from a newspaper because he lacked, wait for it, creativity. Oprah Winfrey ring a bell? She got publicly fired from her first job as a TV news anchor because she was too emotionally invested in the stories that she reported on. Isn't it fascinatingly unbelievable? The very same quality that was responsible for their failure catapulted them into the thought leaders and icons that they are today. So, what happens when we dissolve the polarities between man and woman, yin and yang, summer and winter? When we connect our materialistic side with our spiritual side, bringing together sex and samadhi? Isn't this what some of the gurus and spiritual leaders have been promising? That through the union of polarity, we will create a new man who lives at his highest potential, who is whole and complete. Our social norms, culture, and conditioning have made it necessary that we silence our alter ego and, in essence, cut off a part of who we really are. But that's just not possible. There will always be those brief moments where our hidden true nature exposes itself. When we begin to embrace our polarity, everything falls in place. After all, being open about our insecurities paradoxically makes us more confident and charismatic around others. The pain and vulnerability of honest confrontation is what generates the greatest trust and respect in our relationships. And the suffering through our fears and anxieties is what allows us to build courage and perseverance. It's time we begin to embrace our inner alter ego and see where life takes us. Thank you guys so much for watching. What do you guys think about the polarity of life? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe so that you never miss out on the People's Rant.